What's up, guys? It is a beautiful Sunday here in the lovely state of Michigan. This is going to be a four-wheel Friday episode. I understand that it's not Friday. I did shoot the four-wheel Friday episode. Unfortunately, I tried some different sound settings on the GoPro to maybe try to see if I could drone out some of the like wind noise or that white noise while I'm driving. And unfortunately, the sound came out just absolutely garbage. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but if you're wearing headphones, that would have sucked, because it had low spots, like the normal low spots that you guys normally hear when I'm driving, like say on the freeway and stuff. And then when I would slow down and come up to a stop sign or stoplight or anything like that, it get really loud. So I didn't want you guys suffering through it because I was too lazy to reshoot the video. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. So for my four-wheel Friday episode, the whole intention was I want to let you guys know, A, I'm not getting the 2019 Ram. There's a reason for that, and that's price. I seen online some dealers have actually started to list just the price and just the VIN number, so that you know they're coming and how much that VIN number is going to cost. They just don't list any options, don't list colors. They only list which trim level it is. So two of them I seen were Laramies. One was just over $63,000, and the other one was right at about $65,000. They also had one that was a limited that was listed, and that was $77,000. But I wanted to get more towing, and that's why. And then the 19 came out. It's awesome, and don't get me wrong, I still love that truck, and I'd really love to have that truck. But they're gonna come out, and a Laramie at $65,000 tells me one thing: that the truck I really want, and I would want to get exactly what I wanted. And in the 19, you know, I want a sport or a black edition. I'm not really sure what the colors look like on the sport, and then the black edition was stating, you know, late availability, which I was assuming was like second half of the year. But the Laramie and is the kind of like the base model for the sport and the black edition. The sport and black editions are just a package that you can add on. I have no idea how much that package is because they don't list it. So my guess would be, you know, at least anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, most likely, depending on exactly what all they put in it for the sport package. And by the time it's said and done, I have a feeling that if I got the 19 the way I want it, with all the stuff in it that I want, color that I want, packages that I want, it's probably going to be about $70,000. And I can think of a lot of things I'd much rather spend $70,000 on. If it was going to be around like 60, I was going to be kind of okay with that. The other thing too is they're not going to give rebates or discounts or incentives or anything like that out the get-go. So waiting a year or 2 years was just a better option, because then it gives it time for them to A, work out all the bugs that they find in the truck as people drive it, and B, let it be out a little bit longer, and then they'll start doing all the incentive deals on it and rebates on it and stuff like that, and I can get a better deal on it later. So in the meantime, the plan, my plan was, since the 19's coming out, they're gonna start really doing some aggressive pricing on the 18s, because they need to get the 18s out so they can get the 19s in, and they were going all in on the 19. So I went and checked the dealership. Sure enough, doing awesome deals on 2018s right now. Awesome deals. And mainly on just the Bighorn, which is seemingly the only one that they ever do a ton of deals on, is the Bighorn. But I have a Bighorn, and I don't want to move from basically my 14 into an 18 and change only the fact of the rear end and the trailer brake, when that's something I can do myself into this truck for like $2,000. So that's where we're going to get into this other part of this video, which I feel like this is going to help you a little bit. And it doesn't matter if it is a new car, brand new car, or if it's a used car. When you go to the dealership and you talk to a salesman, you know, they always try to show you, oh yeah, I'm giving you a really great deal. And apparently now what they've been doing is getting these little sheets of paper with a bunch of numbers on it, showing you how the number gets lower and lower and lower. But I know that the sheet of paper that they show you, especially when they're like, oh, well, this is the invoice price. No, that's just the number you put on a piece of paper. Because here's the thing with the invoice price. If you ever go to a dealer and they tell you how much the invoice price is on the vehicle, and then they take more money off than that invoice price, well, that's just not right. They're not taking a loss on that vehicle. They're telling you that's the invoice price, but it's not. I've seen invoice pricing before, and it is way lower than the MSRP on the vehicle. You know, like really low. $40,000 truck, they probably got it for $25,000 from the manufacturer. Is probably what their actual invoice price is. They have a lot of wiggle room. But regardless of that fact, so what I do is, because salesmen always know more information than you do, especially when it comes to what they can do and what they can't do with getting you into a little bit more of an attractive price and getting you into that vehicle, especially if they can get it done same day. You know, you've test drove it, they want to get you in the car. That's where all this haggling portion comes in. You know, you go to the dealer, you test drive a car, you find one you like, they give you a price on it, and then the haggling ensues. This is where you take that time to try to talk them down into a price, whether it be a lease or a purchase price. You know, you can haggle lease pricing, but this is generally that point where the haggling starts. But again, they have way more information than you do. They know exactly how far down they can go, and you really don't. They give you a piece of paper and say, hey, you know, this is my invoice price. You know, I'm already below that. And then they try to get you to think that that's as low as they can possibly go, which is not true. Because if you do it right, they'll go a little bit lower. Not much, but they'll go a little bit lower. For example, so when I go and I look at new vehicles, like when I got my truck, usually what I do is I'll go to a dealer, I'll test drive whatever it is that I want. So I went down and I test drove a new truck, found one that I wanted, went test drove that truck, came back, told them what I want for a lease, because I want to lease it, because after that 2 years, if I want to get the new body style Ram, then I can just, you know, get into that one, and I don't have to worry about, you know, selling the 18. But I might drive the 18 until it dies. I don't know. I haven't decided. But I found a truck I want, test drove it, I like it, played with it, has all the options in it, has a trailer brake I need, has 4-corner air suspension, has the 392 rear end in it that I need for max towing at 10,100 pounds. So everything was great. You know, it's black. It was black on black. It was a black edition. It was epic. It was everything that I wanted. So they gave me a price, did the same thing, showed me a piece of paper telling me how great of a deal they're doing me, and they're going to give me $6,000 off the sticker of that truck, which in a lease only matters once and if you buy it. For the time being, as you're making payments from a payment perspective, yeah, it's going to help your payment out, but the larger that number, that really isn't going to benefit you unless you actually buy it. When you buy it, you see a lot more of the benefit, I guess, if you can kind of understand. So they came back, gave me a price. You know, I was like, all right, well, you know, break it down with 15,000 miles on my lease, and, you know, all different kinds of down payments, so I know about where I want to be. They did that. She told me she was going to give me $6,000 off the sticker of that truck. Okay. From there, I went down and called another dealer. They had same truck. They had actually a couple different ones, and that's where I kind of started wondering if I want the all black one, because I can get it in 2 other colors as a black edition, and it looks pretty cool. So, but we're still thinking about it. So I called this other dealer, told him the same exact thing. Told him I've already test drove it. This is the price I got from another dealer, and instantly says I can do better than that. I can do way better than that. He even said that the numbers that they gave me was a slap in the face, which I thought was kind of funny because, you know, I thought it was a pretty decent price. I knew she'd be better, she just wouldn't. So went from that dealer and I went down to the dealer actually that I got my truck from, and went in there, kind of made sure that they knew that this was kind of like a legacy thing where my 14 came from there. I'm coming back, you know, because you guys did me right the first time, kind of thing. And he gave me an even better price. He gave me $12,700 off the sticker. My lease was probably 10% cheaper per month at the same down payment, at the same term rate or length term, you know. So what I did, instead of me trying to haggle with a salesman who has all the information and I have very little of it, what I did is I pinned that salesman versus other salesmen, because they all know all the information when it comes to, especially, you know, how much money they can take off the truck, if they can get clearance maybe from a sales manager to get me in. If I get in that truck today, you know, maybe we can take a little bit more money off. And don't get me wrong, the salesmen, all three of them knew I was doing it because I kept mentioning the other salesman and the other price, so they know I'm doing it. But they want to get me in this truck. Now, mind you, the truck I'm getting stickers at $57,000. So of course they want to get me in the truck. That's a sale they want to make. Even obviously I'm leasing, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make them any money. So everyone's trying to get me into this thing. But I want to do it at a price that I'm willing to pay, especially because there's a good chance I'll be giving the truck back after the lease is up so I can get the new body style one. And they gave me some pretty good deals. All three dealers, I will admit, all were pretty good deals. Now, the first dealer and second dealer was a huge difference. Huge difference. I mean, we're talking twice as much off the sticker from the third dealer. And I believe at the same down payment and mileage and lease term, the payment was $55 cheaper. That's big. That's a big deal. 55 bucks cheaper on the payment, and I'm only gonna pay just under, I think it was like $1,306 out of pocket the day of. Like, I bring in $1,306. I set it on the desk, sign the paperwork, I'm out the door of the truck at a payment I can more than afford, because I did this. Pin salesmen against other salesmen, because then they know exactly what they can and cannot do. So if they're thinking in their head, oh, I got this because I gave them a pretty good deal, but I'm gonna make some money on this. But then you go to another salesman, they underbid that one by a long shot, then that salesman knows now I got to start dipping into my commission a little bit, or maybe dipping into profit margin on this a little bit. But I'll get them into that truck, not that person, you know. But that's how you do it. You make a salesman work against another salesman, and it works out pretty swimmingly 90% of the time. There are instances, for example, like when the 2019 comes out, there's not really going to be dealer incentives. There's not going to be any real rebates. You know, they're not going to be willing to come down a whole hell of a lot on the price. So you could still do it, but those trucks are really going to be flying off the lot too when they first come out. I'm guessing, but it's more than likely what's going to happen. So they're not going to be as inclined to try to maybe beat out another dealer. So, but that's what I wanted to share with you guys, a little bit of what I'm going through, and kind of let you know that a new truck is coming. I'm just waiting actually right now, because the truck that I think I am going to buy, they didn't have it on the lot when I was at the dealer. He has it, it was just at a different lot, and it was going to take about 2-3 hours to get it over to him. And I wasn't going to wait. Stopping in for the first time, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button. Until next time, fellas.